Hi guys, welcome back. Right, so in the last video we sectioned the body. Since that last video I've cut away the running boards, and on this side I've just tacked a little bit of plastic in because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. What I don't want to do is take too much off the bottom of the fenders because I want it to sit nice and low. I don't want too much gap underneath the body. So somehow we're going to sculpt something in there. But in this one, in this thrilling installment, we are going to do the rear end. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to remove this area here because it's just in the way. So I'll get that cut out and then explain what we're going to do, because we're going to use this custom part. This custom part's cool because it has some chrome like little bumperettes, and the tail lights are red and sitting there. So what we're probably going to have to do is narrow it, and then, but as before, as said, I don't want it to extend too far. If I just glue it on the back, it's going to make it look massive. But so I'm going to cut some off the back of the fenders, and if you notice, I want it to sweep up a bit, but these bits here on these fin bits allow that to happen. So I'll get that bit removed and I'll come back to you. Right, so we've now got that piece removed, and immediately it looks a million times better, rather than that big overhang. Now I'm going to keep this piece because we can use that, maybe use that for infill pieces. I mean, what we could have done is, if we're building something a bit more traditional and wanted a swoopier rear end, we could piece that back in to get that shape correct. But we're not doing that. That's not what we do. Here we go mad. So the next job is I'm going to cut away. I mean, that could go on like that, but I really don't want to extend the fenders too much. So what I'm wanting is to bring this centre section, I want this to be where the back of the body would have been, and then this bit to create a slight extension. So I think we need to basically cut off let's say maybe 12mm off the back of the fenders, something like that. And then we'll attach a piece of plastic to that, like we did on the Apache, to give this a solid place to glue. Then it's not just hanging in space. Okay, so I'm going to make them cuts now, and then I'll come back to you. Right, so we've now removed more of the sedan body. That's been, the rear of the fenders have been cut away. Again, we're going to keep these because they may come in handy. We always like bits of shapes. So now, the next job, I've measured up the depth of this custom piece, and it's 20mm. So what I've now done is I've cut a little bit of plastic, which I will attach to the bottom of this, to the back of this. So then this is going to have to be modified, because if you notice, it's not actually that much too wide, just maybe a couple of mil, but I want it to sweep in to the fender. And I mean, it's got the fins, and the fins have to stay, but we can create that shape with plastic card and body filler. So I'm going to get this bit attached now. I'm going to attach it with liquid cement, and then leave it to dry. And then what we can do then is shape it. So I'll get that attached on the back and leave that to dry and shape that in, and then we'll discuss what we're going to do next. Okay guys, right, so that's now dried. It's nice and solid, and I've cut it to shape just at the bottom end of the fenders, because this area here is going to need building up. We can, once we get the tail light pieces in, we can then sort of shape it a little bit more. What I have done is the rear tail piece I've cut into 3 pieces, because it needs narrowing, but it needs narrowing in between, not in the middle, because we've got the registration plate area there. So now that I've got that in place, I'm going to tack these in, and I'm going to line it up. So we know that the bottom of this piece is a nice straight edge, and then so we can register that to the bottom of the piece of plastic, because we know that's nice and square. And then the top edge here, we will register that to the outside edge of the bit of plastic, and then that'll get it nice and square. So I'll get both of them in place once I've cleaned the edge up a little bit. All right, and then I'll come back to you. Right, so now these pieces are now in place. I'll just move this camera up a bit. So what we've done is we cut the custom part into 3 pieces and attached it. It's nice and solid now on that bit of plastic, so it's a good solid base for that to attach to. So I positioned the fins and the tail light housings into where they should be, and then I narrowed the centre section to fit in. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of gaps, but that's not a problem. We can deal with that with some shims of plastic card in there, and then filing and filling to get that in. And then once we've got that established, if you remember the little bit that we cut out of the back, we've just cut a section of that to fill that gap. And then if you look at it now, if we get a straight edge, can't find it now. We get a straight edge here, that now will be able to blend into the roof area, or maybe we'll make a bit of a sweep out of it. I don't know. And then this area on the edges, I've got a couple of options. I can either blend that in with bits of extra plastic and mould that in, or I can cut the fenders in. I'll decide on that at some point, but we've now got the shape established, and it's, yeah, I'm really pleased with how that looks. Oops. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how that looks now. So I always want to, when I'm designing one of these models, I find it always important to have it on wheels so that you get an idea of what it is. But I think that's enough for today. We've achieved a lot. We've got it sectioned so far and got the rear end established. Yeah, it's working out how I wanted, how the vision I had in my head. Next time we're gonna work on the front end and get this piece incorporated onto the front, and then the main design elements are done. So yeah, okay guys, thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.